Okay, so today is the day that me put sand in the paddock around the hay hut for the horses. It is like 9 o'clock and I have until 12:45, and then I have to return the skid steer. That's the trailer hooked up to the Suburban. The skid steer is like someplace behind my horse trailer that I rented to dig. So I'm standing by the hay hut. You can see it's pretty much empty. It's not all the way empty. Let me see. Oh, I can't flip the camera, can I? I don't know how to work this thing. Anyway, you can see there's not a whole lot of hay left. I've been feeding out flakes of square bales because I wanted to be able to move the hay hut. I can just like flip it over and then move it, but I was anticipating having a second set of hands, and I don't because Cody's sick. And yeah, so I started by picking all the poop. I'm sorry, this video is probably kind of shaky. Picking all the poop around there. Obviously I haven't picked everything. There's some poop behind me. There's my wheelbarrow. But I just didn't want to grind it into the ground since I've been kind of anal about picking it anyway. And then I marked the ground, kind of, sort of, see the green, in a 10-foot radius. I thought that would be enough space for them to stand front hooves and back hooves in the sand. And it's quite a good distance too. It's like almost to that pole. It's about 2 feet shy of that pole over there. It's about, ooh, I think I'm standing in the way. I can't tell. You could maybe kind of see there. It's like 2 feet shy of this, what used to be a fence line here. And then I've got plenty of space this way and that way. So now all that is left is to hop on the skid steer, bring it over here, start digging. I tried that yesterday and it went all right. I was able to scrape the top layer off really easily, but getting like a consistent depth was really hard. So we'll see, because I really want to do it all 6 inches for the sand, but we will find out. Wish me well. And hopefully I get it back in time. If not, I mean, it's fine. I just pay for extra hours. I just would rather not because, you know, money. Yeah, and here's the walking to the skid steer now. There it is. So cute. And I can maybe show you I think I'll do a separate video on what I did back here, but my destruction back here, it's all dirt. And before it was not all dirt, it was all like those super tall weeds right there, which I didn't get them all. And then I have like some holes, like there's one behind me, I don't know if you can tell, that I accidentally dug. So yeah, it's a learning curve, but we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. The horses will love it, and I will check back in later. No idea. What the hell is this? So midday update. Don't mind me. I'm trying to find a place where I can see and you can see. There we go. Let's see if I can get my dirt pile in the background. There's all my dirt. I just dropped the skid steer off like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. I haven't eaten, so I'm tired and I'm hungry. But yeah, so I made a lot of progress. You can see my little path of destruction. It's about 10 feet all the way around, but then like over here, see how it's like not so deep? Hopefully you can see what I'm doing right there. It's like not so deep versus like over there, way deep. And then I'm also working on edging up around the hay hut. I don't want sand under the hay hut because I don't want them eating off of sand, because sand colic is no fun. So there's that. But the next step is to kind of pick up all this loose stuff that I wasn't able to get with the skid steer before I had to return it. It's not that it wasn't capable, I just ran out of time. So I'm really tired. So we're getting gas for the tractor, and I'm continuing to kind of like pick at these little pieces along the hay hut and rake them away. And then we gotta go get the landscaping fabric, but the sand came. Very excited about it. It's really soft and I kind of just want to play in it. Like, screw the horses, I want my own little sandbox. It's not a ton, which is kind of sad. It's actually a ton. It's actually 16 tons, but whatevs. For scale, maybe. See, it's like shoulder height-ish. It's 16 tons, and I don't know how many tons I get of shavings, but it's about half the amount of shavings I usually get as far as volume goes. So I hope it's enough. If not, they're gonna have to come back and bring me more. And the guy was not happy about our driveway. I don't blame him, but still, dude, I have to deal with it every day. You just had to deal with it once, like, deal. I have like dirt all over my face. Oh well. It's fine. So yeah, everything's going well. I'm hoping that I'll have it done by the end of the day, but I am slowing down. I'm tired. I've been up since 5. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to work on this the whole time because I didn't want to disturb our neighbors. That's not their house, that's a shed. Their house is like, I don't know, over there somewhere. They're very, very nice people, so I did not want to bother them while they were sleeping. So we wrapped up with this sand pit last night around 7:30. I started working on it at 9:30, so it took about 10 hours total. Here's what's left of the sand pile that was dumped off. They couldn't get up here because our fence and stuff, and I didn't really want it like right here. I wanted to have some space to work, so it's perfect. And then this gives them, there's actually more left than I thought there would be, but that gives them, I'm probably gonna flatten that like little mountainy section on the right out some, but it gives them a nice little spot to roll in. Because of where it is, I don't know if you could tell, our paddock kind of slopes down to this middle spot, and then that middle spot is kind of like a drainage that goes out down towards the lake, is that way. So it'll wash away at some point because I didn't do anything to prevent it from washing away, but I'm fine with that. It's not a ton. I mean, it's more, it might be an actual ton, I don't know. It's more than I thought it was gonna be that was left, but I'm okay with that getting washed away. I just really didn't want the sand around the hay hut to get washed away, which is why we dug it out and then did all that extra work. And then you can see we took some of the dirt and filled in some of the areas that had been eroded. There's some dirt, get my hand out of my pocket. There's some dirt over by the barn. We have some erosion over there. We just haven't smoothed it out because the priority was to get the sand. And there's like sand in my pocket, and I haven't even worn this jacket yet. Oh my gosh. So here is the finished product. You can see it's quite deep. That's what I wanted. You know, you don't want like a deep arena or whatever, but this is for standing, not riding. So you can see somebody rolled right there. When I let them out, they came over, they sniffed the, what I'm calling the rolling pile, but they have other ideas for it, because they both came over here and were like prancing around the hay hut like carriage horses, and they both rolled like 2 or 3 times each in the span of like 10 minutes. And then they got up and they were running around and they were having a grand old time. So it's really soft, it gives a lot, which is what I wanted. I don't know if it's gonna pack down. I really hope not, because I don't have a drag or anything like that, so I'd have to come out here and rake it by hand, which I will do because I love my horses, but I don't want to do it, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Inside the hay hut, you can't really tell because there's so much hay in here still, but there is dirt under there somewhere. You can kind of see there's some dirt, but I think they bumped into the hay hut a few times. It looks like somebody, I feel like it was moved a little, like there. You can kind of see it was moved. So I guess one of them ran into it. Oh, and I forgot, on this side we put in some landscaping, well, they're not landscaping timbers, they're just 4x4s, but some timbers to help keep the sand from running away. too bad because this is the low point. It goes kind of towards that bush and out the gate. So hopefully, I don't know if you can tell. See how everything kind of slopes up and away from me. So I'm sure we're going to lose sand. I just hope it doesn't run away super fast. If I have to top it off in 6 months, that'll be fine. That's no big deal. I'd hope that it makes it at least a year, but so far I'd say it's worth it. But it's been like 12 hours, so we'll find out. I'm going to be watching the horses over the next few months, taking notes like I always do, and looking for changes in like postural changes and soreness, because I don't think I talked about this yet, but when I was pulling out the dirt, and I use the term dirt lightly, so all this was dug up from where the hay head is. It was coming out in these, like, look at this. This is like a friggin' boulder. They're super heavy. By the way, I can't lift that with my hands. And they're super, super hard, like very, very hard. And this is what the horses were standing on day in, day out, eating the hay. My guess is it's compacted because we do have clay here, as we found out very recently when we were doing fence posts. We have a lot of clay. And then you add in the horses, moving, standing, walking on it. That kind of compresses it and compacts it. And then you also have the tractor driving on it, which is going to compress and compact it. And then add in some manure and hay that's broken down and stuff like that. And then you got yourself those nice, awfully hard dirt, quote unquote. It's more like rocks. They're not like sharp rocks or anything, but just really, really hard. And I don't know. I'm thinking that they will be more comfortable. I'm just kicking this around while I talk. I'm thinking they're going to be more comfortable after living on the sand for a little while. Obviously, they don't spend 110% of their time at the round bale, but they probably spend 70, 80, probably some days 90% of their time at the round bale. So standing on a surface that is softer and more forgiving, and one that they can mold, so like they can kind of shift the sand under their feet, so if they want to stand a certain way they can. With the dirt, that's really not an option. I'm hoping that it will help with that. They're both older. Even if they weren't both older, after digging it up, I think it would be probably similar to standing on concrete all day, and who wants to do that? I know I get sore, and I'm not technically older. I feel older, but not older. We're going to stand here and watch Saphira eat while I talk, because I still don't know how to flip this camera around. So hopefully it will help with body soreness, and then the biggest reason that I'm doing it is for this girl right here. I'm hoping that the sand will help with her hooves. You can see she's got shoes with tabs glued on her front feet. She's bare behind. And I just pulled Renita's shoes earlier this week, so she's now barefoot. Excuse me. Oh gosh, I'm so tired. There was a lot of manual labor yesterday, like so much. Not a fan. So really the number one reason I'm doing this is because of hooves. I'm hoping that it will allow her to build, Saphira, to build some healthier hooves. But if not, at least I'll have the benefit of them having a nice soft place to stand and roll, which I had not seen Renita roll once outside. I've seen her doing it in her stall several times, but she's not laid down or rolled outside that I've seen yet. And she did it several times last night, so it's good. So hooves, nice soft place to stay, and then also hopefully we're about to go into winter. It's going to be 21 degrees in 2 days. I'm not excited about that. And that usually comes with mud and nastiness, so hopefully the hay hut area at least will be nice and dry, or at least not mud. I mean, the sand will still get wet, but hopefully it won't get super muddy and nasty and gross. But yeah, that's it. all you need is 16 tons of sand, heavy machinery, and 10 hours of non-stop work. And you too can have a sand moat around your hay hut. But I'll check back in a couple months and see how this is going and see if I've noticed any changes. The chiropractor comes in 2 weeks. I don't know if there's going to be enough time to really notice any difference from that, but I'll be interested to see if he has anything to say about it. That's all.